Here's your host, Giuseppe Grammatico, the franchise guide.
So number 3 is, and I kind of touched on this, we'll call it the third tip to avoid hidden costs that could sink your franchise, is figuring out how you're going to run the business. And are you going to be full-time or are you going to be part-time? Well, if you're full-time, you can maybe not need a general manager, keep the payroll a little bit less. In the previous example, we talked about, paying someone, just say $5,000 a month times 3 with all the additional costs. We'll round it up to $20,000 that you'll be saving in payroll costs running it yourself. But keep in mind, if you had a job that you were leaving, obviously you wouldn't have that income coming in. So factor all that in. You want to have that at the end of the day, that buffer to make sure that your personal, your mortgage, student loans, medical costs, insurance, all that stuff is still being paid. You don't want to get behind. So definitely have that financial buffer. But figuring out if you're going to be full-time or part-time, well, you may say, hey, Giuseppe, I don't know. I haven't figured that part out. No sweat. Let's create 2 pro formas. Put one where you're running the business full-time, and then look at a second one where you're running the business part-time with that general manager. Or maybe it's not a GM. Maybe it's just a key employee in place, maybe giving them that future GM role. Or maybe that's your role. You have that 12-month outlook and eventually go full-time in the business. So think that through. And if you're not certain, just talk about, well, how does the model change? Is a full-time person or running it semi-absentee? Secondly, not to go off topic here, but you want to make sure if you're doing this yourself, ask the franchisor if that's allowed. Some franchise companies, believe it or not, will have you, will require you to be full-time in the business. Sometimes there's some flexibility if you have a vested partner that has equity, some skin in the game, and you're working directly with that partner. That sometimes works. But again, it's case by case. Don't just say, well, all painting franchises are the same. Talk to the franchisor. Every franchise can be run differently, from the role to the investment to the expectation, who their franchise avatar is. So definitely consider that as well.
Thanks for tuning in. If you want to learn how to make the transition from corporate to owning your franchise, join Giuseppe on the next episode. You can also follow on all social media platforms and achieve financial and time freedom today.